I hope you can see the screen. So we'll start with the Sri Chaitanya Shiksha Ashtakam. Kind of like a tongue twister. Shiksha Ashtakam. Cheto darpanam marjanam bhavamahadavagani nirvapanam shriya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhi vardha Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Okay. Kashish Mataji, you want to read next verse?
सर्वशक्तिः तत्रार्पिता नियमतः स्मरेण न कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशमिहाजनी नानुरागः. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Next, Sudhir Prabhu, want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandat Pranam, all praise to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahasnana amaninena manadena kirtaniya sada hari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all the false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Vipul Prabhu, want to read?
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Na dhanang, na janang, na sundaring, kavitang ba jagadish kamoye, mama janmani janmani chare, bhavatat bhakti, hoitaki toi. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Next, anyone?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितां मां विषमे भवाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कज स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the utmost atoms at your lotus feet. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Vijaya Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गदद्हृदया गिरा पुलङ्के निर्जित वपुः कदा तव नामग्रहेण भविष्यति. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my choice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name. Hare Krishna.
Kirti Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yugayitam nimishena chakshusha praushayitam shunya itam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me. Translation: O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. Thank you.
Aslesya va padaratam pinashtumam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidadhatu lampato matprananathastu saivana paraha. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Shishtastakam ki jai. Okay, let's read Updeshamrita. In the morning also we were discussing Chaya Begadomi, Chaya Dosha Shodhi, Chaya Guna Deho Dase. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is mentioning in that Ohe Vaishnava Thakura, please give me these 6 right qualities, the 6 kinds of exchanges between devotees. So that verse sums up here. That's the 4 verses of Nectar of Instruction are in that kind of implied in that bhajan. So, and today is Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. So we can pray to Srila Prabhupada to also, because that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying to great Vaishnava, to bless us so that we can overcome the 6 anarthas or the 6 vegas, urge to speak and urge to anger, belly, tongue, genitals, etc. Then we overcome these 6 doshas, eating more than necessary, over accumulating funds, over endeavoring, talking mundane stuff, gossip, etc. And develop the 6 good qualities: enthusiasm, determination, following the footsteps of great souls. And by following these principles, the 6 symptoms shared by devotees, loving exchanges is the best way to develop harmony, cooperation. And Prabhupada said that you can show your love for me by how you cooperate with each other. So, like a father is happy when the children are together, united. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada will be very, very happy when we as his children and grandchildren cooperate in spite of ups and downs and difference of opinions, etc. We cooperate on a higher principle and strengthen the relationship, the spiritual relationship, keeping Krishna at the center. That will really please very Prabhupada. So with that, let's read these 2 verses today from Nectar of Instruction. So would someone like to read who has not yet read? Text number 5. Nandini Mataji, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhupada, all devotees. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriye dikshasti chet pranatibhisht bhajanta misham shushruya bhajana vikya ma ananya amanya nindadishunya rudami psita sangalabhya. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced and in undeviated devotional service, and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. Do I read the sixth one too?
Sure, Mataji.
दृष्टे स्वभाव जनितेर वपुषश्च दोषैर न प्राकृतं त्वम् इह भक्तजानस्य पश्येत् गंगाम भासं न खलु बुद्बुदा फेन पणकेर ब्रह्माद्रिवतं त्वम् अपगच्छति नीरा धर्महे. Being situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee does not identify with the body. Such a devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Indeed, one should overlook a devotee's having a body born in a low family, a body with a bad complexion, a deformed body, or a diseased or infirm body. According to ordinary vision, such imperfections may seem prominent in the body of a pure devotee. But despite such being defects, the body of a pure devotee cannot be polluted. It is exactly like the waters of the Ganges, which sometimes during the rainy season are full of bubbles, foam, and mud. The Ganges water does not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. So text number basically 4, 5, and 6 tell us how we should interact with devotees, how we should see devotees, how we should have relationship, how we should strengthen relationship. Text number 4, how we should interact with different kinds of devotees in a different way. So whom we need to respect from a distance, whom we need to take close association, whom we need to follow wholeheartedly, and not seeing the externals. So thank you. We'll read some verses from Bhagavad Gita. And it is said in the month of Kartik, even if reads one verse, what to speak of one verse? Even if one reads half a verse, what to speak of reading half a verse? 1/4 of a verse. This is the great scriptures say what to speak of a quarter of a verse. One reads one word of Bhagavad Gita. It's equivalent like reading 18 Puranas in the month of Kartik. So let's read a few verses. I totally lost the count where we stopped, but let's start from the beginning. So those who have not yet read and want to read, anyone?
I can read, Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Juyusava Mamaka Pandava Chaiva Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Next.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam. Text 2.7. Krapanya doso pahata swabhava prachami tabham dharma samutta chetaha yach charya sayan nishchitam bhurhi me sisyas te ham sadhi mam tvam prapannam. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, who's not yet read? Who's feeling left out? Anyone wants to read and has not yet read any verse? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, please.
Text 2.13. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuhyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. 2.14 Matrasparshastu kaunteya Sitoshna sukha dukkhada Agama payino nityas Tam stitiksha bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, O scion of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, many devotees join Moksha Mataji. Would you like to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Na jayate maryate va kadachin niyam bhavita va na bhutaya ajayo nitya savayo yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sharire. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, and ever existing and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Neha bhaktir karma nastosti praya vayo na vidayate sav alpam aspesya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayata. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from most dangerous type of fear. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Where are you joining from? Which city and country? So I guess you're on mute, we couldn't hear. Okay, so I guess we will move to our Bhagavatam reading on this special day of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Namami Damodara Pada Pankajam Karomi Damodara Pujanam Sada Vadami Damodara Nama Nirmalam Smarami Damodara Leela Sundaram Gajendro Bhagavat Sparsha Vimukto Ajnana Bandhana Prapta Bhagavat Rupa Pitavasas Chaturbhujaha. Who all memorize this verse? Let me see. Raise your hand if you can say without seeing this.
I can try, Prabhuji.
First, let me see. Raise your hand. First, let me see who all did this. Jyoti Mataji did, Kashish Mataji, Kabir Prabhu, Vipul Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you for trying. Yes, Vipul Prabhu, you can try now.
Gajendra Bhagavat Pashad Vimukto Ajnana Bandhanat Prapto Bhagavat Rupam Pitas Bachas Chaturbhuja.
Thank you. Very nice. Okay, so dear friends and Vaishnavas, we are reading Canto 8, Chapter 4 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Gajendra Returns to the Spiritual World. So for some of you may be connecting today, so just a quick background. This great sage Agastya Muni cursed Gajendra, who was Indradumna. Cursed King Indradumna. In his previous life, Gajendra was King Indradumna, who was a great Vaishnava, and he was meditating in a hermitage, and this Muni comes, and this sage, this King Indradumna was so absorbed in thinking about the Lord that he didn't realize that this great sage had come. So Agastya Muni thought that, well, he does not have proper etiquette to show respect to a guest, and especially a great sage. So therefore, Agastya Muni cursed him to become a dumb like elephant because he was acting dumb or unintelligent. So that's the background. And we also discussed in great detail that although it may appear to be a punishment or a curse, but curse of a devotee is actually a blessing in disguise. We discussed example of Nalkuvera, Manigreva, and so many other examples. So with that, we will move on to the next verse, Canto 8, Chapter 4, text number 11 and 12. They are together, so let's read this today. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Shaktva Gato Gastyo Bhagavan Ripas Sanugaha Indradumnapi Rajarshir Dishtam Tad Upadharayan Apanna Kunjarim Yonim Atma Smriti Vinashinam Hari Archananubhavena Yadgajatvepi Anusmritihi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, after Agastya Muni had thus cursed King Indradumna, the Muni left that place along with his disciples. Since King was a devotee, he accepted Agastya Muni's curse as a welcome because it was the desire of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, although in his next life he got the body of an elephant, because of devotional service he remembered how to worship and offer prayers to the Lord. Purport: This is the unique position of a devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although the king was cursed, he welcomed the curse because A devotee is always aware that nothing can happen without the desire of the Supreme Lord. Although the king was not at fault, Agastya Muni cursed him, and when this happened, the king considered it to be due to his past misdeeds. Tatte nukampam susamiksha mana. Bhagavatam 10:14-8. This is a practical example of how a devotee thinks. He regards any reserves in life as blessing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, instead of being agitated by such reverses, he continues his activities of devotional service, and Krishna takes care of him and enables him to be promoted to the spiritual world, back to Godhead. If a devotee has to suffer the reactions of his past misdeeds, the Supreme Lord arranges for him to be given only a token of these reactions. And very soon he is freed from all the reactions of material contamination. One should therefore adhere to devotional service, and the Lord Himself will very soon see to one's promotion to spiritual world. A devotee not should not be disturbed by the unfortunate circumstances, but must continue his regular program, depending on the Lord for everything. The word upadharyan, considering, is very significant in this verse. This word indicates that a devotee knows that what is what. He understands what is happening in the material conditional life. Wow. So this verse is very, very special and very, very practical also, because we all go through reversals in life. King Indradumna was a great devotee, and he could certainly, if he wanted, could counter curse Agastya Muni or could nullify the curse. But he did not do so. What he did, no tit for tat, but tolerate that. It's a very nice lecture. No tit for tat. A devotee does not do tit for tat. Hey, you curse me, I'll curse you. You speak me one bad word, I'll speak you 10 bad words. But a devotee considers this is the divine arrangement of the Lord. Nothing can happen without the Lord's will. So rather, this punishment or apparent punishment or so-called punishment is not a punishment, but it is actually, I deserved a million times worse than this because of I'm so fallen and I've done so many mistakes in the past. I deserve much worse reactions. But the Lord, look at him, he's so merciful. He's just giving an insignificant portion of that suffering which were meant in my quota. A devotee always has the attitude of gratitude. A devotee always sees the Lord's hands in every situation. A devotee is always grateful and not complaining. Hey Lord, why you did this to me? I didn't do anything wrong. I was just sitting casually and I was just thinking about you. And here it comes, I get a curse bill. That's what I get of thinking of you. Asli Shiva Padratam, Lord, whether you leave me broken-hearted or whether you embrace me, I will continue to be your servant. It's not that, oh, I came to temple and look, my this thing happened. So and I'll never go to the temple again. Or I started chanting and I lost my job. I'll never chant again. Or I served in the Janmashtami and this thing happened. I'll never go to Janmashtami. I'll never go to any program. That's not the devotee. That's a very, very neophyte mentality. A sincere devotee, in the Dimna, is showing by his example that whatever happens is by the divine will of the Lord. So we should be grateful. We should tolerate that. We should see Krishna's hand. And very soon one will be promoted to the spiritual world. That's 10:14:8. That's another verse for those who want to learn. It's a very important verse to learn. Bhagavatam or Brahma's prayers. We read that recently in the Purushottam month. Tatte nukampam susamikṣamana bhunjani vatma kritam vipakam hridvag vapurbhir vidadhan namaste jivetyu mukti pade sadaya bhak. One who tolerates the reversals in life, one who continues with hrid, vak and vapu, body, mind and words, heart. Vak is vapu, and vak is words and vapu is body. With one's body, mind, heart, words, continues to offer, vidadhan namaste, continues to surrender to the Lord, then back home, back to God, the spiritual world is a rightful claim, like a good son or a good child naturally inherits the property of the parents. So that's what Lord Brahma is speaking. So in reversals, we should take it uh, in this spirit, because we all will go through reversals, either health situations, emotional situations, family situations, job situations, some other, even in the devotee community, it may come sometimes. We have to be careful because ups and downs will come, but how we handle is a choice. Any comments or any other points, any questions in this text? Okay. Who would like to read? Raise your hand if you have not yet read and you would like to read.
I can read.
Yes, please.
Text number 30. Evam vimoksha gaja yutha abja nabhas stenapi parshadagati gamitena yukta gandharva siddha vidhudera upagiyamana karma karmadha bhutam swabhavanam garuda asanogata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Upon delivering the king of the elephant from the clutches of crocodile and from material existence, which resembles a crocodile, the Lord awarded him the status of Swarupya Mukti in the presence of the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, and the other demigods who were praising the Lord for his wonderful transcendental activities. The Lord, sitting on the back of his carrier, Garuda, returned to his all-wonderful abode and to Gajendra with him. Purport: in this verse, the word vimoksha is significant. For a devotee, moksha or mukti, salvation, means getting the position of the Lord's associate. The impersonalists are satisfied to get the liberation of merging in the Brahman effulgence, but for a devotee, mukti, liberation means not to merge in effulgence of the Lord, but to be directly promoted to the Vaikuntha planets and to become an associate of the Lord. In this regard, there is a relevant verse in Srimad-Bhāgavatam 10:14-8. Tatte nukampam susamikṣamano bhunjan eva akrutam vipakam ridvega vapurvira vidhadhana namaste jivetayo muktipade sadaya bhaka. One who seeks your compassion and thus tolerates all kind of adverse condition due to the karma of his past deeds, who engages always in your devotional service with his mind, words, and body, and who always offer obeisances unto you, is certainly a bona fide candidate for liberation. A devotee who tolerates everything in this material world and patiently executes his devotional service can become a mukti Pade Sadaya Bhak, a bona fide candidate for liberation. The word Daya Bhak refers to the heritedly right to the Lord's mercy. A devotee must simply engage in devotional service, not caring about material situation. Then he automatically becomes a rightful candidate for promotion to Vaikuntha Loka. The devotee who renders unallied service to the Lord gets the right to be promoted to Vaikuntha Loka, just as the son inherits the property of his father. When a devotee gets liberation, he becomes free from material contamination and engages as a servant of the Lord. This is explained in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 2.10.6. Muktir hitātvanyatha rūpam swarupena vyavastita. The word swarupa refers to Swarupa Mukti, going back home, back to Godhead, and remaining the Lord's eternal associate, having regained a spiritual body exactly resembling that of the Lord, with four hands, holding the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma. The difference between the mukti of the impersonalist and that of the devotee is that the devotee is immediately appointed an eternal servant of the Lord, whereas the impersonalist, although merging in effulgence of a Brahma Jyoti, is still insecure and therefore generally falls again to this material world. Aruya Trichena Param Padam Tatha Patenti Adho Nadarata Usma Ana Grihaya. Bhagavatam 10.2.32. Although the impulse rises to the Brahman effulgence and the enters into the effulgence, he has no engagement in the service of the Lord. And therefore, he is again attracted to the materialistic philanthropic activities. Thus, he comes down to open hospitals and educational institutions, feed poor man, and perform similar materialistic activities, which the impersonalist thinks are more precise than serving the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Anatarata Usmat Anna Grihya. The impersonalists do not think that the service of the Lord is more valuable than serving the poor man or starting a school or hospital. Although they say Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, Brahman is real and the material world is false, they are nonetheless very eager to serve the false material world and neglect the service of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here Prabhuji, after delivering the Gajendra, Lord brings him back and awards him a Sarupa Mukti, which means going back to Godhead and remaining the Lord's eternal associate or servant. And I believe Prabhupada is explaining very nicely the difference between impersonalist and the pure devotee. What it takes to be a pure devotee, who qualifies the pure devotee, whereas why the impersonalist, they scared and there are chances to fall down back to the material world. It's very well explained by Prabhupada here. They may be satisfied marching into the Brahman effulgence, the impersonalist, but the devotee, the devotee is always engaged into the Lord, and she just wants to be a servant of the Lord. And they don't, like impersonalists, they don't have any engagement in the service to the Lord. But the devotee has always engagement service to the Lord. And as you explained in the previous verse, Prabhu, the devotee who is a tolerance everything in this material world and continues his devotional service, which is the mind, word, and body, and not caring anything about this material world. They basically are the ultimately qualified for the liberation. That's my understanding, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Bhakti.
Thank you so much, Mr. Uchi. Very nice. So the difference between the Sarupya and the Sayujya Mukti is shared here. Sarupya is what Gajendra got, getting the same form. Pitavasas Chaturbhujam. Prapto Bhagavat Rupam. Same form as the Supreme Lord. Sarupya. Sa means same. Then Sayujya is basically the impersonal merging in the Brahmajyoti. Sayujya. That's not what devotees aspire for. The Gyanis, etc., they may aspire for that. So, again, tolerance, and while continuing to render devotional service. So now there's a point here has come about opening educational institutions and hospitals and feeding the poor men, etc. So someone may ask you like, hey, and there are movies actually made. There are movies made on this topic, and especially in India, that what's the need of putting the milk on the on Lord Shiva or bathing the deity? Why don't you use that milk in feeding the poor people? Correct? It's we may ask that question. What is the need for having a nice, gorgeous dress for the deities? Well, it will take lakhs of rupees to build that, to make that dress. Why don't you feed that to the poor people? Or donate some books to the uneducated people, or give some blankets to the people who are suffering because of cold. So let's discuss that point because this is a question someone may ask you, or it may be in your mind. Or let's discuss. If anyone wants to share any comment on that, or is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Or should you do that? Should we not? Let's discuss this point. Raise your hand if you want to speak on this topic. Is the question clear to everyone?
Yes.
Does it make sense? Does the question make sense? Okay.
Yes.
In fact, I was actually, wanting to ask you or discuss about this one. That's why I also raised Prabhuji. So, in fact, before coming to Krishna consciousness, I was after watching the movie or some discussions. I was thinking, but after coming here, the main purpose is like if we give some food to a poor person, he'll survive for that day. If you give hospital, he's cured of a disease, a small disease or a big disease for this lifetime. But if you give Krishna consciousness to him, it will not only serve him one day, 1 week, 1 year, 1 lifetime, he is served for the all the lifetimes. So that's what my understanding from. I have few other points, but I would like to other devotees to add. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yes, I'm Sivilas Prabhu. And then Moksha Mataji can speak.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, everyone. So I just wanted to add one more point, wonderful point by Sudhir Prabhuji. One other point is nobody asks why the rich people in America and India, they're buying yachts worth $500 million. They live in houses that are millions of dollars. But when the Lord is given something, they they are making an issue, because they are so much into materialism that they don't want to serve Lord, but they want to serve Maya. Wherever they see service of Maya, they feel that is right. Wherever Lord is served, they feel that is wrong. So it is just they have the wrong perspective for life.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, very nice point. No one will question, as you said, if someone buys like 1,000 pair of shoes. Many people, like the Queen of Elizabeth, has like 1,000 pair of shoes. I mean, I heard some queen, but imagine like to put those 1,000 pair of shoes, how much big room you need, how much, to just put the 1,000 pairs, and what to speak of maintaining them and figuring out. Very nice points. Yes, let's. Moksha Mataji, want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I think like if we serve people and if we means like give food to poor people or give blankets to them, yes, as Prabhuji said, it will give only 1 day or 2 days comfort to them, because blankets will eventually get stolen away. So, and if we'll give them Krishna consciousness, it will serve them for their lifetime and even after lifetime. And also, uh, it is said, means like when I came to Krishna consciousness, means like I'm not that capable of saying that I'm Krishna conscious, but still my Guruji says that, and also all the ISKCON devotees says that worshipping the deity and giving seva to the deity is the means like it is the very big punya than other things that we do, like giving blankets or anything else. And also, if we do all this, we'll be, we'll be stuck in fruitative activities, and we'll be stuck in Maya. We'll go to Swarg and then come back. But if we'll serve the deities and we'll give offer our seva to the deities, we may get liberated and become their associates with the adhyatmic body above, spiritual body.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Very much. Yes, you made very relevant points. Babu, Kanan, Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yeah, Prabhu. It's something like serving the God. It's something we are directly, serving the root. Say if you are giving money to poor, it's something like you are giving them. It's been something like leaves. We are pouring the water, but serving the God is something we are directly giving to the root. That's what I feel.
That's a very good example. Thank you. Yasmin Tushte Jagat Tushte. Krishna is pleased, everyone is pleased. Yes. Yes, Umeshi.
In this verse, I'm just asking the question, and because they are not engaged serving the Lord, they will fall down, and again they will go to their own activities by developing hospitals or helping the poor and all. So is this the wrong actually? Because they may not agree with that Suyoja Mukti, but their action is not wrong, Prabhu. They may say that, okay, I'm interested in this. So I'm trying to understand, is that the wrong actually? I understand the clearly two differences here. Why we should be not follow that and that's focus on this Suyoja Mukti, but in their action, are they wrong actually?
Well, let's try to, that's what the whole point we are discussing. Saving the dress of a drowning person. Now, is it wrong or right? A person is drowning and you save the expensive suit the person is wearing. Is it good or bad? Or wrong or right? Right? That's what Prabhupada compares to feeding the temporary needs of the body. The suit is referred to the temporary body, the external covering. But the person drowned, right? So taking care, like the famous example given in this connection is the person, a child is lost in a fair, Mela, right? Kumbh Ka Mela. Very thousands and millions of people are there, and the person is lost. He is missing. And for those who have been there, every minute there are announcements. Oh, this person who is wearing yellow shirt and red and is missing. Whoever are his parents, please come to this spot. I've been a couple of times, and it's very interesting. And finally, they find. One time, my brother was also lost. By the way, somehow he found somehow Krishna arranged, and we found him back. So the point is that, so yeah, this child is lost, and then someone gives him a candy. The child is okay, happy for 1 minute, and again crying. Someone sees, well, his clothes are very dirty. Let me give him a nice set of clothes. So someone buys him a good set of clothes. He's happy for next couple of minutes. Then again he's reminded of his parents, and is again crying. And someone gives him a nice, preparation, some food. Someone gives him external things. But the fish out of water, no matter you give the best of the best of all the things the fish may like, will the fish be happy? No. Similarly, feeding the external needs will not make one truly happy. It's like saving the cloth of a drowning person. So now that does not mean we become hard-hearted and kind of what do you say, like unsympathetic towards the needs of others. In ISKCON, there are so many thousands and thousands of people are fed prasadam. Prasadam is not just good for the body, not just it takes care of the bodily needs for people who need, especially, I mean, people are still serving prasadam since the coronavirus, started, to a lot of people who are, whose works have been affected and things like that. And every day, thousands and millions of people are fed prasadam. You have, some of you may be aware of the hospitals. It's called as that the Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Mumbai. Do you know that even Muslim people come there and Lord Jagannath comes in the rooms of that hospital to give darshan to them? It is a transcendental. The moment you enter, for those who have been there, you see Srila Prabhupada. And at every room, prasadam is fed. Most of the team, entire team practically is devotees and doctors and staff. They're all like devotees, not just for the body. They're very, very, very well qualified people, devotees. So they're taking care of the body, and it's like a full-fledged hospital, all the surgeries and complex procedures and stuff. But at the same time, they give spiritual knowledge to heal the soul, to protect the real body, because disease, once cured, will come again, right? Who can say that once the disease is cured, will not come again? This is the nature of this world, dukhalyam shashvata. So similarly, the ISKCON is doing a lot of service, and we all must do. We all must distribute, like our dear Bankim Prabhu distributes prasadam. We all must try into the best of our abilities to distribute prasadam, to help people in need, but with a spiritual knowledge. Now, one person was serving the poor people. He said, oh, these poor people are very hungry. Let me serve. So he started serving meat and eggs and this and that. So when we don't have true knowledge that what is the real self, he was trying to help them. Okay, the intention was good, but the road to hell is often paved with good intentions. So that just having good intentions don't work in this world. Having good knowledge is also even more important than just having good intentions. So that person was creating more bad karma for one's own self, and also the innocent children who don't know, who are hungry, they'll eat whatever is given. So they were also getting implied in that karmic cycle. So does that make sense? Does that help?
Yes, Prabhu.
Anyone else wants to add or ask anything in this theme? Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I just want to add one thing here. Like we are the our original constitution position is we are the spirit soul, and so the spirit soul is the main religion is to serve. So as we can see, like in Shajijya Mukti, there is no service there. And the second point is whatever we are serving, even if we don't serve God, we are serving our senses. If someone is more generous, they are serving their family. If someone is more generous, they are serving their society, country, and then, but all these services are temporary. And those services are always either there is duality there. It does something to good, like something to bad. Someone, it can have a bad effect, someone can have a good effect. So it's not totally, and someone mentioned that just to serving the Lord, even if we serve the Lord, like Arjuna served Krishna in Kurukshetra, because that was Dharmakshetra. That's why the first word says Dharmakshetra Kurukshetra. So for Arjuna was doing it for the religion, and that religion is serving Krishna. So that's why Shajijya Mukti actually, because their service, they are not serving, so they have to come back again. So that is the main problem in the Shajijya Mukti. Until we have a service relationship with Krishna, which is our eternal constituent position, otherwise we have to come back, birth and death. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, where does it say that? What is the reference?
Of Sayujya Mukti? Which
One person has to come back.
Here Prabhupada is saying that in Shajijya Mukti, they are going to come back again as a philanthropist, because again, they are doing the service. Philanthropist they are doing the service, but their service is not eternal. There's some service, they are serving the temple, as someone mentioned, that they are serving the lives only. Because Prabhupada in the purport mentioned that they are going to come back again. Thus he comes down to open hospitals and educational institutions. In page 121.
And at other places also, I remember this reading. Prabhupada mentions, some places Prabhupada mentioned may come back, some places Prabhupada mentioned will certainly come back. So that was interesting. Thank you, Prabhu.
I think even in Nectar of Devotion also, right? I kind of remember.
Yes, it's mentioned multiple places, Bhagavatam as well. And I just realized that I didn't complete the child lost in the fair example. So the child, someone giving, but the real help was to connect the child to the parents. And the parents gave him the food, the clothes and everything. So that's real service. If until that's done, the child will continue to be lost. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu wanted to say something.
So in one discussion, Prabhupada quoting actually in the Prabhupada Bani, that people who are going with the Shajujya Mukti may be they are taking the, like walking in the stairs, tough road, but who are doing the devotional service, they are taking the elevators going directly to the Lord. So that is also Prabhupada quoted that I found in the Prabhupada Bani.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing that. Subrat Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, I'm still confused. Like, if somebody is in opulence, if he has given the Kṛṣṇa consciousness, definitely he may accept. If somebody is in trouble, without helping him, if you are giving the Krishna consciousness, how she is going to accept that?
Say that again. If someone is in trouble
Yeah.
or opulence.
Yeah, somebody in opulence, if you are giving the Krishna consciousness, he may accept that. But somebody is in trouble, he needs help. So in that case, what we should first help, right? Then only we can provide the Krishna consciousness, right? So in that both are equally important, right?
Yeah, and then this trouble, this word trouble is different, right? What I understand, you're referring to material, like monetary trouble.
Yeah,
right?
maybe somebody very poor and he don't have anything to eat also. Like in that case, both are equally important, right? First of all, you have to help them, then you can provide the Krishna consciousness.
Like many times it goes hand in hand, but trouble also refers to, like Prabhupada mentions, the real problem, this Mother Teresa's word, the real problem is not the hunger of belly, it's the hunger of heart, right? Prabhupada came to United States. People are more troubled here. Why? Because the one who thinks that I have no trouble is actually more trouble, right? One whose diseases are hidden, like the enemy is hidden. There are more depression, suicides, problems. So the so-called wealthy person who may have wealth, who may not have like food-related problems, who have food to eat, but look at the emotional side, look at the drugs and the bad habits one is inculcating. That's a bigger problem. That's also a trouble. But the trouble is so big that the one does not feel that there is trouble. That person needs actually more help. So everyone is troubled. Kali Yuga is everyone is troubled in some way or other. Some are troubled with food problems, some are troubled with emotional problems, some are troubled with relationship problems, some are troubled with financial problems. So yes, a devotee has to be intelligent and see. So with time, place, situation, what medicine needs to be given, that an intelligent devotee should be like intelligent doctor, understands that. At some place it could be in giving prasadam. Yes, you're absolutely right. If someone is very hungry, as a grihastha, it is a duty to give prasad, especially to those who are hungry. You should ask, call 3 times outside the door. Is anyone hungry? Is anyone hungry? If no one comes in. Now, practically, we cannot follow that here. So that means we should help those who are supporting those causes, protecting cows, protecting prasad distribution, etc. And over here, it could be in a different way. So many people, they may lose their near one, dear one. In that way, that's also a trouble. In that time, we may not give support by supplying prasadam. They already have prasad. They are sufficient to take care of their food needs. But emotional support is more required at that time. Yes, at that time, it's not immediately one said, hey, why are you talking about the lamenting about the soul? This is just temporary. Oh, sorry, the body is temporary, the soul is eternal. Just forget about your near and dear one, and just one has to be gentle, kind, and caring, and then gradually help at the right time. So one has to give that emotional comfort, and so does that make sense?
Yes, but that is what actually I'm thinking. Like, if you directly go and giving Krishna consciousness, I think nobody will accept that one. First of all, we have to be in a helping position, and then only they should think we are the friend. Then only they will accept.
Yes. Dhira dhira chanao priya karo. Dhira dhira Goswamis. They were gentle to those who were gentle, and then the ruffians. So that's absolutely correct. They would ask, they would go to every village, and the thieves and the dacoits would love them, and the kind and sober people would also love them. That was their nature. So yes, preaching or outreaching is not to give a sophisticated class. No one is inspired by that. It's not how many verses we quote. It's not how we speak. It's how much we really care for them and develop strong Krishna conscious relationships. That will inspire that this person is my genuine well-wisher, is a genuine, and that's what when Prabhupada came to the United States 50 years or back, more than 50 years now, they were not, it was Prabhupada's love, it was Prabhupada's care, it was Prabhupada's unalloyed, selfless concern for them that moved their hearts, and they were ready to do anything for Prabhupada. So that moves the heart, not the number of shlokas or not. Prabhupada's accent was different. Prabhupada's, everything was different. Prabhupada was 70 years, they were 20 years. Prabhupada was very strong in his, like, every aspect, and they were totally opposite the initial audience. But they saw Prabhupada's love and care, and like the Goswamis. So you're right, Prabhuji, very nice point. Okay, anything else? Let's read one more verse so that we can. Any Mataji's want to read text 14? It was not read this week. Anyone?
I don't remember.
I can read, Prabhu.
Please go ahead, Kirti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam, text 14. Etan Maharaja Taverito Maya Kṛṣṇānubhavo Gajaraja Mokshanam Swargya Yashasyam Kalikalmashapaham Dukkha Panasham Kuruvaryam Shrunavatam. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear King Parikshit, I have now described the wonderful power of Krishna as display when the Lord delivered the king of elephants, O best of Kuru dynasty. Those who hear this narration become fit to promote it to the higher planetary system simply because hearing this narration, they gain the reputation as a devotee. They are unaffected by the contamination of Kali Yuga and they never see bad dreams. So I think here in the pastime of Gajendra, Lord have saved him and he gone back to the Lord planet Vaikuntha with his 400 form as Lord Vishnu. And Shukdev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj that whoever is hearing this narration, they are promoted to the higher planetary system because they gain the reputation as a devotee because they are hearing the great devotees like Indradumna Maharaja and that crocodile who were like great devotee, but because of the Lord's arrangement, they got cursed and they played the part in Lord's Leela. And as we were discussing before that, like feeding the people, giving them the prasadam. So like, I have a question, Prabhu, like when someone is don't have enough, like they need some clothing and all those stuff, can we get offer some of kind like a blanket or dhoti kurta and give that to them as a, gift to those people so they will also get like Krishna's mercy and we can also help them? Is that the proper way to do it? Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Why not? We can give, yeah. We can also give them Krishna Prasad along with it. We can at least ask them to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Right? It takes only 10 seconds. If they like it, they'll chant in future as well if Krishna arranges. But even if they chant once, their bhakti has started. Even if they take prasadam once, the bhakti has started. And of course, clothes also given with a genuine intention for the benefit and in a prayerful mood, in a humble mood. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. One must. Because that's the whole point. A devotee can't see the suffering of others. So, but we have to nicely balance it. That does not mean that we start that as our core thing. Okay, instead of distributing Prabhupada's books, now I'll start distributing clothes only. Right? Or instead of reading, if we see in that situation, if we are in that situation, that's fine. But the main thing should be the main thing. So a nice balance is required. Right? It does not mean that we all start, like as I said, a clothes shop or like blanket shop and make that as our core. Because our core is very clear. But in some situations, absolutely. If you are in that situation and someone is really asking and you feel that they really need this, sure.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Anyone gets bad dreams? Again, it may be a personal question, but so someone gets bad dreams, this is Dush Swapna Nasham. Swapna is dream. And we have discussed actually material world, the whole is dream, 3 stages of Swapna. So one will be free from all the bad dreams. That means one will go back home, back to Godhead. Kali Kalmasha Apoham. Apaham. Destroying or diminishes the contaminations of Kali Yuga. Kali Kalmasha. Kali Kalmash. Kalmash is dirt or contamination. So that's the power of hearing the story of Gajendra. This is the first Shruti is coming. So one goes back home, back to Godhead. The sinful effects of Kali Yuga are destroyed. One gets freedom from all the bad dreams. Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago. One comes to the state of wakefulness or awakening. So we must hear such great pastimes like this one. Any other comments or questions, additions, corrections?
I have a question, Prabhuji. Can I ask? Prabhuji, actually, I was hearing one lecture. So, one day Narottam Das Thakur was sitting with Loknath, who is Gurudev, and at that time one person came. Like he was very thirsty, and he was looking for some kind of water, and he was keep on asking, but somehow they are not disturbed. But finally, Narottam Das Thakur went and gave him some water, and immediately Loknath Prabhuji actually said, you cannot be my disciple, because instead of thinking of the Lord, you are thinking of helping others. So because you're disturbed in this situation, so you cannot be my disciple. But after that, Narottam Das Thakur asked for the forgiveness, and finally he accepted. So I'm again here confused. So if somebody is thirsty and he is in a very difficult situation, so what's wrong here?
These are special leelas, Prabhu. We cannot judge Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Abhigya na Bujai. We cannot understand these by our own logic. Like same as we cannot understand, like it may seem, what was wrong with Indradumna, right? What wrong did he do? Right? He was meditating upon the Lord. He didn't intentionally wanted to do something wrong. What was wrong? The point is, we may, with our limited intelligence, come to wrong conclusions. So, without understanding the whole context, background, so there could be a lot of details which are probably missing in this whole story. Yes, Nandini Mataji, please go.
Yes, Prabhu. As far as I know the pastime, there's a detail that he said this is Braj. Anybody can give him water. It wasn't like there were only two people, and he asked. There was a. He was so thirsty about to pass away or anything. It was Braj, and he could have asked the water to next person. He had a tendency to disturb meditation, so that's why look. As far as this is the pastime I have heard, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, Mother. I did not know. I thought like there are only two, only Narottam Das Thakur and Loknath Prabhu is there, and that person was very thirsty and he was about to pass away, and somehow Narottam Das Thakur got disturbed and given the water.
Okay. And this is the way I heard it. I don't remember exactly which lecture, but it was a couple of years ago in a lecture too. That he said, Loknath Goswami clarifies, this is Braj, anybody can give him water.
Thank you, Mother.
There are other examples also, Prabhuji, also in this similar theme. Remember, as Grace Gopeshwar Prabhuji said in the story of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that how he said to his disciple that he can't go, and when he was at the peak of dying, he said, okay, now you go to your parents. And he died on the way. And then he later didn't want to go, but he was thinking of Mayapur. So there's a divine plan in these great personalities which we may not be able to understand. Correct? So same as Haridas Thakur, when he entered that prison, he said, okay, all of you be here. You remain here. Well, a person who is in the prison and great soul says, well, be here. We thought you will pray that we get out of here. And you are praying that be here. He said, later, according to my, if I have to conclude, why will a great soul who can deliver the whole world say someone to be in the jail? But the real essence was that they were praying so intensely at that point that this is a bright thing for you. You're so intensely praying to Kṛṣṇa in this situation. After you get out, you will not pray intensely. So there's so many other similar examples that from our limited intelligence, it may seem that this is not right. But the point is, it's not that the great souls are doing wrong, but it is you have to try to understand it in the right way or just accept. So, but the question is good. Okay, it's almost 9 o'clock, and actually just wanted to ask real quick.